Freeman, and it's incomplete. Or did he make the catch at the 15? Yeah. What are they going to rule it? He caught it? Touchdown! He did what?
In the end zone, it is caught for the win! Richard Rodgers with a walk-off touchdown. Total disbelief at Ford Field.
Rushes on, has time. Looking, throws, middle, got it there! Breaking free to the 50. He may go all the way to the 20 down the right side. And there's Randall Cobb to the 5, to the end zone, to the touchdown. Oh my goodness!
Hey everybody, welcome to the Green and Golden Boys Packers podcast, the podcast for Packer fans living inside enemy territory. I'm Charles, and with me as always is Marcus.
Hey everyone.
And Marcus, we have just watched the Green Bay Packers lose in overtime to the Indianapolis Colts.
We sure did.
And Marcus, you know, we both predicted a loss. We thought it was going to be a tough go for our offense. We thought it was going to be a tough go for our defense. We didn't think our defense was going to be able to get the turnovers necessary to put our offense in a position to win the game. But contrary to how we thought the game was going to go, our defense did everything that we could have asked them to. They turned the ball over a couple times. They made a couple key stops to put them in some, long field goal situations. They missed a field goal in the first half. And, going into halftime, you and I were texting each other, probably feeling pretty good about this game. And then we came out for the second half. So I guess my big question to you is what happened in the second half?
I don't know. I think the Colts made some great adjustments. The Packers failed to do anything, it seemed, and they just were the better team. I mean, I don't think the defense played that well today, all things considered. I mean, I think we knew stopping the run was going to be an issue, but I mean, none of these running backs are great. We were obviously familiar with Jonathan Taylor being a Badger for 3 years, and he's been struggling this season, but we made him look like the best running back in the NFL today. He ran for 90. I think collectively they ran for over 140 yards against us today. I don't know. I mean, that was just a tale of two halves, really. I mean, the defense in the first half was flying around the football. Christian Kirksey was all over the field. We were getting some pressure on Phillip Rivers, and then the second half, it just looks like we couldn't figure out how to stop the run, like has been an issue all season. I don't know. I don't know what you do. I didn't think we were great on either side of the ball. Obviously, special teams had its issues today. I don't know how you feel about Darius Shepard, but obviously I've been high on him, and I won't say high, but I've really liked him, and I've been waiting for him to have a good game. And when he does things like that, I just don't see how Aaron Rodgers is gonna trust him moving forward. I'm not sure. I'm a little concerned he's gonna go the way of Ty Montgomery after that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think for the first time we saw an injury lose the game for us. I mean, Swerve Irvin was not in, who would normally be there returning our balls. And you and I were texting about it, and we're like, why do you return it? Why don't you return it? I mean, I thought the Colts played it perfectly, chipping the kickoffs to the 5, to 1 yard line. I mean, there was one, the one kickoff where it barely touched the end line, and I just think that's I think that's the way every special teams coach should be coaching their kickers. Like, screw giving them the free 25. Make the receiver choose whether or not it's going to go into the end zone or not. And they forced us to make some tough decisions. We rarely had the ball at the 25. I think the most disappointing thing for me today is, although I thought it was going to be a close game, I mean, we came out swinging, right? Like, we defensively looked great in the first half, offensively looked great, but then I think it was clear that we have guys in positions, where they're probably not to that top tier yet. I mean, obviously, not to that top tier yet. And it's showing, right? And it's costing us games. And that's the frustration that I think a lot of Packer fans had during the draft. We don't want to get into the big scheme of things, but I'm just looking at this focus, right? The draft, not picking up a receiver. Trade deadline, not picking up a receiver. Or picking up some playmakers or something. It's just, to me, it just feels like the Green Bay Packers put out a team that is designed to make the playoffs, but isn't designed to dominate. Now, am I saying there's no chance we're going to win the Super Bowl? No. But would I put money on them winning the Super Bowl right now? No, not really. And yes, I'm a little bit emotional about the loss and the just terrible performance we just saw. But I mean, what else do you expect from guys who haven't proven themselves, right? You put Darius Shepard in a position where he fumbled the ball. You put MVS in a position where he fumbled the ball. Devontae made his plays when it counted, but, kind of like we were frustrated about, in the games that were kind of obvious wins for the Packers. He has these huge games, against the Jags, against the Vikes the first week, against, the Texans where, yeah, you should win. But in these close games, we need these second, receivers, third receivers, whoever receivers. And they made the catches. Unfortunately, they just did not hang on to the ball this week.
Yeah, I mean, and to your point, these are the games where we need these guys to step up and be reliable. I mean, consistency and reliability. If you can't do that in the NFL, then you're just not useful, and Aaron Rodgers is going to stop throwing you the ball. Again, frustrating game. Obviously the offense moved the ball pretty well for the most part, but 3 turnovers on offense and a turnover on special teams. I mean, we're lucky that it was this close, honestly. To your point earlier, we're lucky that our defense came up with a couple of turnovers as well. But when you're that poor on the fundamentals, and there, again, there was some bad tackling today too. I mean, we saw a couple times where first, second, third, fourth contact, and then the running back for the Colts has got an extra 7-8 yards, and it's just, again, it's really frustrating because at the beginning of the game it looked like everybody was razor sharp focused, everybody was knew where they were, and then all of a sudden there's that play that I think it was the first or second Colts touchdown where Troy Aikman said, I'd love to say, I know what the Packers are doing on defense, but I just have no idea, because that's kind of how we all feel. What is going on? How are these guys so wide open? How do these guys not understand where they need to be in every situation? And then again, that's frustrating too. And it comes down to, I think, coaching and the focus from the players. And it's just one of those things where it's like we keep seeing it and we keep seeing it. I don't know what you need to do or what needs to change. I don't know if it's Mike Pettin. I don't know if it's the players that just can't figure it out or grasp the defense, or to your earlier point, are just not being put in a position to succeed. I don't know what it is, but it just, we're seeing these themes. We're seeing these themes week after week, and sometimes we squeak away with a win, and then games like today, our poor play was just, we couldn't Aaron Rodgers our way out of this one.
Yeah, and God darn it, I wish we would have scored that, on that last drive to win the game.
Yeah.
I had a bad feeling about OT. We won the toss, and I'm like, okay, we have a chance here. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're too good of a team. We're not the Vikings. We don't care about good finishes. Like, since 2010, it's Super Bowl and bust for us, right? Super Bowl or bust for us. And I hate to say it, but I'm calling it now. Even if we win out this season, it's hard for me to be confident against a solid team like the Colts, like the, Tampa Bay, like whoever, to get through, an expanded playoff scenario where we're not put in these situations, and inevitably we're going to need someone else besides Devontae to win the game for us. And we're to me, it just feels like we're a very, very good, mediocre team. And I hate saying that this soon. It's just, I don't think the relax speech is going to work this time around. I don't think the we're going to run the table speech is going to work out this time around. It's just, the way that first half looked, I kind of thought we had something. We're dominating a team in a way that, in a game that everyone thought was going to be close. You thought it was going to be close. I thought it was going to be close. We both thought we were going to lose the game. And if we would have lost the game in a back and forth, manner, I feel like I would be more confident in this team. But to collapse the way we did, to come so flat, to come out so flat against the Vikings a couple weeks ago, to come out so flat against the Jags last week, to just fold on top of ourselves against the Buccaneers, in week whatever that was, 5. It's just hard. It's just hard to believe in this team, for a Super Bowl. It just doesn't feel like the winning recipe, and I just feel like we're I'll say it again. I just feel like we're a mediocre team with a fantastic quarterback, and it just kind of sucks to realize that in a half where if we put up 3 points and don't give up a stupid turnover, we win, right? But but even that, I mean, we should have not gone 3 and out back-to-back drives, to start the season. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, it was a combination of things of how we went 3 and out, but it's just move the ball, right? Move the ball and just and at least take some time off the clock. It was just a very painful, revealing way to lose, and I don't care what they say in the post game. Like, there's too many inexperienced guys that we're relying on, and too many boneheaded plays, that we made that didn't pan out, and now we're in a losing position, But hey, we've both been proven wrong before, so maybe the Packers and Aaron will prove me wrong again.
Hey, yeah, and I'm hoping so. I mean, this was a tough loss for a lot of reasons. I mean, it's just, if you lose, you at least want to lose. You don't want to beat yourself, I guess is the way I want to put it. If you lose to a better team, there's no shame in that. But when you beat yourself, like I feel like the Packers did today, that's hard to swallow, because you could point to half a dozen opportunities that we had, or boneheaded plays, to your point, that we made, where any one of those could have been the turning point in the game and we could have won. And it's just, you get shut out basically for the entire second half, and you can't stop the Colts, and it's just, yeah, I don't know what the answer is, but this just seems kind of like our MO so far under Matt LaFleur is like, we win against okay teams and even good teams, but then when we play in a tough situation against a good team, it just we never seem to be able to get over the hump.
For sure.
But again,
and I'm looking back at I'm looking back at our schedule right now. I mean, we went 500 against the Vikings, which is a bad team. We beat the Lions. We beat the Saints, which is a good team, but they were bad at the time. Falcons, Texans, 49ers, Jags. I mean, really, it's just can you confidently say that we're, a top 5 team right now? It just doesn't feel like it. And it's a disappointing feeling to have, given the pedigree that our defense had coming into this game, or coming into this season, and the pedigree that obviously our quarterback has. And just, I hate to say it, and I hate to be, so cliche, but it feels like if we had a couple playmakers or something, I don't even want to say playmakers. The second half, we didn't even want it. It just didn't feel like we wanted it, right? The Packers rallied to the ball, like Troy Aikman kept saying in that first half. I don't know if there was a run for more than 3 yards in that first half. And then all of a sudden,
right,
once again, 7-yard run, 8-yard run, 14-yard run. And it was just so like, you already knew it was going to happen. I was honestly surprised we held them to field goals some of the times we did. But I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. And we're both emotional right now, but I'm a bit more, because it feels like they've I don't know, not to say given up, but given up on the game and in essence on the season. Because how can you suggest that we're going to beat a team like Seattle, or beat a team like the Rams, or beat a team that's hot right now, when the Colts are a very good team but not necessarily Super Bowl favorites?
Right. Let's look at a couple of silver linings, though. The Vikings lost to the Cowboys. Okay, so silver lining. The Packers are 7-3.
You're proving my point. We're a very, very good, mediocre team. Who cares if we win the division? If we lose, in the NFC Championship game again? That's just going to be like, That's going to be the narrative of Aaron Rodgers' career. Like, he went to like 9 NFC Championship games and lost them all in blowouts because they finally played a good team. I mean, yeah, it's a good silver lining, but I mean, is it? Is it really a silver lining? Like, honestly, F it. If you're not